The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrick Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a marvelous Monday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, in the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got Patrick. No, we don't have Patrick Walker. I'm used to seeing him here. We've got Josh Rodriguez.
Hi.
Does not have a shirt that is creased to the T like that.
No, he doesn't. He's a T-shirt guy.
Yeah.
He's a T-shirt guy.
He's a T-shirt guy.
We've
on
got
the
Isaiah
show.
Stanback.
What's up?
Hello.
I'm Kyle Youmans.
You are
Christine in
Kyle.
the back.
Yes. You know what? I saw our buddies at Black Rifle this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a,
Shout out to Black Rifle.
Black Rifle, absolutely. I stopped in and got me a little cup of Joe. They were as an event at Shields this weekend, and I went and they had a bunch of tents and barbecue and stuff, and they had Black Rifle.
They're not a sponsor, by the way.
That's okay.
A
Black
sports
Rifle
store.
is. Black Rifle was there, and that's where I stopped.
Generic sports store.
Generic
Insert
sport. Hey,
name
listen,
here.
they were there. They were there, and I stopped by our friends at Black Rifle, and I got me a nice little cup, and my son got some stickers to add to his water bottles and
Nice.
laptops. It was good to see our folks, man.
They got good stickers. They got good coffee. Really good coffee.
Yes,
and you
they
can
do.
buy it basically in any store in the Metroplex.
Yes, you
baby.
can. Yes,
and
you
it's
can.
really good.
It is.
It is good.
It's just the most American-looking coffee you see.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? If
They
it
had
has an
some
American
RTDs
flag
out
on
there.
it. Yeah.
I felt some type of way.
Yeah?
We haven't had any RTDs in a while.
Yeah, we have
Just saying.
not.
Just saying. I was talking to them about it, but like they were like from out of town. They wasn't like the local.
They're
Black
like,
Rifle.
sir,
Okay.
we're just here to
Yeah.
serve coffee at
so.
an event. At
We
a
got the coffee
generic
here,
store.
I think, somewhere.
Is it still in there?
No RTD in there.
That thing's got to be expired by now. It's been a minute, but yeah, we need to get some product in here, some Black Rifle. We've got it right here, but
And right here, baby.
that's all we got. All right, week 1 is in the books in the NFL. Lots to talk about around the league.
Goodness, so much.
We're going to get into what we saw out of the NFC and what we saw out of the AFC here in a little bit. I want to start with the Cowboys, though. As we went into the weekend, of course, the Cowboys fall in week 1, 24-20, the final score against the Philadelphia Eagles. But I think as we've gone on and as we've kind of looked at things, Isaiah, the more you watch the film, the more you see positives to take out of a loss. And I'm not trying to be Mr. Positivity here. It's a loss. You're 0-1.
Don't you bring that moral stuff in
That's
here?
what I'm saying. It's not. I'm not trying to do any of that. But there are positives to bring from this game. We talked about it briefly on Friday, having a hodgepodge of topics. But as you rewatch the film and go back through it, what's kind of the number one thing that stands out to you?
How'd you know I watched more film this morning?
Because I know you.
Yeah.
I know what your routine is.
I get here early.
We've done shows
And you have
together for
another
6
job
years.
that requires you to know a little bit more about the rest of the league and
Yeah,
what's
that's
going on.
very true.
Yeah.
No, I get here about an hour before the show and I watch film. There are a lot of positives. One of the things that I feel good about is Dallas's ability to generate pressure. I know it's a big concern.
Scheme pressure?
Scheme pressure. In the first half, it was not scheme pressures. In the first half, it was more let's try to keep Jalen Hurts bottled up, and we would rather die on the sword of Jalen Hurts running around versus being killed by A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley.
Clear.
Right? So
Yeah.
that was like you had to pick your poison. I said it on one of our other shows. It's like if you had the 3 portions of the game as a defensive unit, you had to stop the 2 receivers, all right, and Goddard. Then you had to stop Saquon Barkley, and then you had to stop Jalen Hurts. If you could only pick 2 of those, which is you can't cover all 3. You cannot
Just
wrap
not
around them. It's
physically
not physically possible. So you have to pick 2 of the 3.
Try and limit the 3.
So you limited Saquon Barkley substantially. You limited the receiving core substantially. Jalen Hurts hurts you on some broken plays.
If you're talking pick your poison, it's between cyanide and killer mustard gas.
For sure.
You know, it's
For sure.
It's all bad. It's
Absolutely.
all deadly.
But in the second half,
Here I am trying to be Mr. Positivity, and then Josh is bringing out the
Well, I mean, I can be positive. A win, a loss is a win, kind of in a way.
No, don't do that.
No, it's
We're
all
not-
bad.
But as you watch the film in the second half, I was encouraged because you saw Eberflus make adjustments, and the adjustments that were made were a ton of stunts on the defensive line. They ran stunts galore. They ran TT stunts. They ran TE stunts. They ran all kinds of different forms of pressures with the 4 guys up front, in addition to bringing Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs on numerous occasions. I think there was 2 plays where Deron Bland was a blitzer. One time he missed. Jalen Hurts got out, and another time he got upfield, really caused havoc in terms of the blocking scheme and what they did up front. They actually ran a TE stunt or ET stunt at the same time as bringing Deron Bland. It really threw off the protection of the offensive line, and we ended up getting a sack because of it.
For the layman, what is an ET?
So
because, I mean, I know
tackles and ends, right? So tackles and ends when they start swapping out positions, right? So instead of just rushing, if you're a defensive end, instead of just rushing upfield to your tackle, you go upfield for a half a step or two. You get that tackle to commit to you, and then you go around to the guard. The tackle does the same thing. He engages the guard, and then he goes and takes the tackle. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get one guy on the defensive line to consume 2 guys in the blocking scheme, right? So that you can free up one of your guys. So whether you're freeing up your tackle or whether you're freeing up your defensive end, that's what you're trying to do. So there's different variations of that. There's times where the tackle will go up and then loop around. There's times where the DN will go up and loop around. Either way, that's what the TE or the ET stands for.
Well, let me ask you this. What does that look like in a defense where you don't have a Kenny Clark and you're relying on Amazi Smith, let's say?
I don't think Mozzie has the mobility to do it, but I think with the guys that they were rotating through on a defensive front the other day, you did, right? You had
I just want to give the listeners sort of an idea of what he's bringing now that you ordinarily wouldn't be seeing at this point, even if your defensive ends were a little better.
For sure. I mean, well, Eberflus, let's talk about Eberflus. Eberflus clearly has a great understanding of what the responsibilities of the offensive line are.
Yeah.
And his ability to run those types of stunts, understanding where most likely these guys are going to be trying to block you, right? And then being able to find the free runner to go get the quarterback. Now, the guys have to make the plays once they get there, and that's where the Dallas Cowboys failed this past weekend. But seeing him dial those things up was awesome. That was very encouraging to me. There were some things offensively that were not necessarily the most encouraging in terms of some of the route running, the efforts that were exerted in that, some of the blocking.
Say it with your chest. What are you talking about?
Not going to go crazy this week. It's not Friday, but there are individuals that need to exert more effort so that they can be a more dependable resource for Dak. Because as a quarterback, if there are times where you want to get the ball to one of your receivers and you don't feel that there is a sense of urgency or a sense of effort, I'm probably not going back that direction. So if people have questions as to why certain people weren't getting the ball, that might be playing a part into it. That's not to say that they're not able to get open, but you need to see that level of consistency in effort every single time guys run routes so that you can feel confident as a quarterback that when I make my read and I turn my head to you in that split second, I know that you're going to be there.
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week, and I guess it kind of resurfaced over the weekend. You know, people are looking at all 22 now. George Pickens in terms of run blocking, and there were a lot of plays where there was just not a lot going on. When he wasn't involved in the play, he really wasn't doing much. Yeah. Does that concern you guys at all?
I think that you have to understand the personalities that you have. And I don't know him individually.
It's one thing if it's George Pickens, and it's another thing when it's a guy like a Jalen Tolbert who –
yeah, so like
you're relying on to be a good run blocker.
So, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. So, Jalen Tolbert, let's talk about run blocking. CeeDee Lamb, let's start at the top. CeeDee Lamb made some efforts in the blocking game, in the run blocking. He did make some efforts. Now, CeeDee Lamb's not the most physical blocker in the world. Okay, so understanding what his capabilities are.
Frame, too.
Exactly, right? Like when I played receiver in the league, like I wasn't the biggest reception receiver, but one thing I did do was I blocked, right? So there were certain situations that I was placed in and responsibilities I had as a blocking receiver that other guys wouldn't have. They're not putting Randy Moss in there to go block certain guys, right? So understand what your personnel is. CeeDee Lamb did, however, make some relatively good efforts in the blocking game. So that was encouraging. Jalen Tolbert's not a blocker. He's a big frame, but he's not a blocker. He doesn't want to really get in there. And you could tell, right? It's just that his intent when he goes in there is not to demolish anybody. It's like, I want to catch you more than anything.
Yeah.
George Pickens didn't want anything to do with it. I felt the sense that he was kind of getting frustrated, and Kyle can kind of attest to this. During the game, I said, you have to get the ball to him.
Yeah, you wanted him to be fed pretty early on.
You have to keep him engaged.
You wanted him to be engaged in that first quarter, second quarter, and then build from there. doesn't have to be the big play. It doesn't have to be scheme it up to get him there. You just got to get him the ball once or twice.
Consistent
Get the
looks.
ball. It's kind of like what they used to do with CeeDee Lamb early in his career. Get him the football. Just get him in space a little bit.
You want to have the
didn't
threat.
do that.
You want to have the threat of both of those guys. And there was early on he got the ball, right? He got the ball early on. I think he had 3 catches for 30. He had probably 4 targets on the day. One was the big PI call, so he was a big reason why Dallas was able to get down there on that drive. But there were times where I felt like could have looked his way. But again, understanding the quarterback's mindset, I think there are some other factors that might have been at play in terms of why Dak may have looked CD's way on certain down and distances versus George Pickens' way.
What factors?
The effort.
Just straight effort.
Just straight effort. So I think that, again, that's me just watching the film. I don't know. I haven't talked to these guys, but I would assume that probably plays a small part of it, and I'm sure that will be addressed collectively as a quarterback and receiver room going forward.
Pickens, just according to Pro Football Focus, and since it is the first time I'm mentioning PFF this year, remember, this is just for context. Don't use PFF as the Bible when it comes to grading players.
It's the be all end all, Kyle.
It's not. The highest highest run blocking grade for a wide receiver against the Eagles was Jalen Tolbert at 61. He got a 61, and everybody else below that. Pickens was at a 60 even. His overall grade was a 58, which is not super high. Highest offensive grade for the Cowboys in Week 1 was Dak Prescott. He had a 90. Those are actually the 2 highest players, was Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. Both of those guys were the highest graded players according to PFF in that matchup.
Yeah. So we've heard through training camp, through OTAs and training camp, that they want to be a running team. Mm-hmm. We've also heard from the receiver group individually that they want to be physical in their run blocking. And I didn't see it. And the reason why that's important, and people are like, oh, well, they're supposed to be receivers, they're supposed to catch the ball. That's facts. That is their primary role. However, the reason why you only saw one splash run is because there wasn't enough blocking happening at the second level.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want big plays from your running back room, the linemen are only responsible for those front 7 guys. Right? Your lineman, your tight end, and your fullback at times. Those guys are responsible for what we call the box. Those are the 6 to 7 guys most of the time that are in that box, right? Playing 5 yards or closer to the line of scrimmage. Beyond that, the corners and the safeties, that is a responsibility of the receivers. And if you want the big splash plays like you had with Miles Sanders, you have to dig out, at what we call a receiver, dig out those safeties. You have to go in there and be willing to go crack on those safeties, and then you leave the cornerback for the receiver, for the running backs, right? Yeah. A lot of times, like, a running back is perfectly fine saying, hey, you leave the cornerback for me, I'll handle him, right? Like, I'll run him over, I'll make him miss, whatever it might be. But you don't want to allow safeties. Safeties are kind of paid to go hit and make tackles, right? That's not the guy that you want responsible. You much rather leave the corner. But either way, you have to get those guys blocked on the edges and at the secondary level in order to get those bigger plays. So there are, when I say encouraging things that you see on film, there are plays that are left out there that could have been bigger if there were more effort exuded towards those assignments. It's not to say that guys don't want to do their jobs or don't intend to do their jobs, but it's like maybe they were tired, maybe they were gassed, maybe they just didn't feel like, maybe they were frustrated, maybe they were thinking, like, there's a whole lot of factors that can go into. I can say maybe all day long, but at the end of the day, there were plays that were left out there that could have been bigger.
Affects drive results, for sure.
It was Week 1. So having this conversation in Week 1, is that a problem? If it continues, it's definitely going to be a problem. But is it a problem right now?
Well, one thing you know, especially about the coordinators and how prepared they were going into Week 1, and we talked about it. We were pleased with how prepared the coordinators were. They've already talked about this. They know, they saw the tape. They watched film, and they know that their receivers and the run blocking in general needs to be better. So they have to go in with the idea that in Week 2, we're going to pound the rock. And it can be one thing to just say it constantly, but like I just said, affects drive results. If they're not willing to run block, if they're not willing to put forth the effort, you're not going to get the result of a better run game and wins. You see what happens now. If you're not engaged in run blocking, that's a loss when it could have been a win.
You typically, most teams, I'll say this, most teams that are successful in the running game, right? You can look at last night's amazing game.
Oh, man.
Freaking A.
Gosh.
The receivers are the ones that allow for those big plays like Derrick Henry's long runs to happen. right? The blocking up front handles their business. The front seven takes care of business. But in order for that to turn in from a 5 to 10 yard run to the 40, 50 yard run, somebody downfield got blocked.
Yeah.
Right? Either they got caught up in the wash, right, by getting to the line of scrimmage, they got caught up in the mumbo jumbo.
But either way, they're going to get caught because then they have a head start trying to catch up to
right?
whoever.
But you see that usually there's one guy in every receiver room for successful running teams that is responsible for being that enforcer.
Who's that guy here?
I don't think that you have one.
There you go. That's the concern.
Yeah.
That's where the problem is right now, because I agree with you. When you look outside, and it's part of it is the wide receivers that you have in the room skill set wise. CD's not going to be asked to block like that. George Pickens, he's a bigger receiver, but he's not going to be asked to block.
Turpin's not going to be asked like that.
Turpin's not going to be asked like that. Tolbert might be asked to, but he's not going to.
Yeah.
And that's just part of how it goes.
And those are the guys that are
That's where you need the Ryan Flanoys on the roster or the Jalen Brookses on the roster.
Or that's why Noah Brown was here for so long.
Noah Brown. That's a great example of somebody that's willing to go and do that. Yeah. Are they going to catch 100 passes? Probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
But you need somebody like that to just give you that versatility.
I would say Noah Brown is also a kind of a receiving threat now too.
Yes,
a little bit.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
He can go play. He's still in the league for a reason.
Exactly.
He's been around for a little bit.
He's doing more than just blocking, for sure.
You mentioned that game, 41-40 last night. The Buffalo Bills come back to beat the Baltimore Ravens. I want to talk through that game here in just a little bit. But when we come back, let's take a look around the league. The NFC, AFC, what does the picture look like after 1 week of play? We've talked a lot of Cowboys over the last 48 hours of podcasts or so. Let's talk about the rest of the league right after this.
AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed, like getting through self-checkout by yourself.
Warning, each item must be placed in the bagging area.
Not guaranteed.
Place item in the bagging area. Place item in the bagging area.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve. Or we make it right. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner. With over $9 billion in business loans and more than 140 business specialists right here in North Texas, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment of the show is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back alongside Josh Rodriguez and Isaiah Stanback.
It is I.
I'm Kyle Youmans, Chris Beam in the back. Yeah. Talked about the way that Dallas has to get involved in the blocking game, has to get involved with guys like George Pickens as well. Before we move on to the rest of the league, Dak Prescott had some words. There's a good article from Tommy Yarish on DallasCowboys.com. It says a lot to grow from for Dak Prescott, Cowboys offense following week one. And this is just based off of the words that he had post-game where he talked about how there were good, there was bad, but there's still a lot of good to grow on. Josh, what did you take away from his words?
Mainly, it was the spitting incident, which I know we didn't necessarily talk about.
Yeah,
that's the whole.
You're right. We have not talked about.
We haven't talked about it, and it's been talked to death. I mean, I don't know that I necessarily need a whole. Yeah, exactly.
You said what?
Dak Tua.
Yeah.
I don't think a whole segment needs to be said on it. It was a ridiculous exchange. I don't think Dak Prescott meant to, insult Jalen Carter, but to spit on another human man is just it's offensive for sure. But of course, he obviously took blame for it. He was suspended for the game, and maybe more. We'll see, but. That's just a crappy thing. That's what I mostly got out of Dak's comments after the game.
I have to ask, though. What would you be doing, Isaiah, if somebody did the same thing that Jalen Carter did to you? Would you be able to calmly stand there and just gesture toward the official waiting for a flag?
Can I say before Isaiah speaks? I think Isaiah would keep his cool.
You think so?
I really do.
Would you?
He's a man of upstanding character.
You do have a high standard.
I have high emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
In the exact situation that Dak was in, I would most likely have done the same thing as Dak because literally as it happened, Dak sees the referee see what just happened, right? So knowing that it's going to be handled by the referee, you can sustain yourself from doing something crazy, right? Because the referee,
they're in the middle of the field,
it's literally like
the slow mo.
So like, however, if the referee had not been there, might have been a little bit different situation. It might would have had a little fisticuffs, huh?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of fisticuffs, just maybe.
What if you're just like walking down the hallway?
If somebody spits on you, like Tua?
Yeah. Just like in a conversation, like gets heated.
Kyle, I don't allow myself to get that mad.
Yeah, is there?
Yeah, I don't. I'm the guy that blacks out when he gets that mad. So like, I don't allow myself to get to that point.
I know I would not be happy.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be. Yeah. And then it happened in college. You see that? It happened in college football.
Yeah,
too.
somebody else.
Yeah, it was bad. Right in the face.
Oh yeah, that one was
in the face.
Arguably worse.
Oh, now we're fighting.
Yeah,
now we're fighting.
That's a fight.
That's a fight. I'm fighting your grandma at that point. Everybody's getting it.
It's like it's my mom's birthday. Like we're fighting.
Yeah, everybody's getting it.
Oh man, how interesting! It wasn't. I loved.
You imagine trying to clean that off?
Stop. No, there are people listening to this in their headphones, in their car.
Dak had to take a shower after that. Throw the shirt away.
And Jalen Carter of all people, like, come on, man. The big dude.
That's assault.
Who's bidding for that game-worn Dak Prescott jersey?
That's assault, man. What if he had COVID or something?
On his first captain jersey in
2020.
several years?
That would be a problem.
Seriously, man. That's attempted murder.
All right, let's take a look around the NFC a little bit here. A couple other division foes facing off. Russell Wilson and the Giants.
Huh?
Oh, man. This is the upcoming opponent for the Cowboys.
Heck yes.
And, you say that. They've had 3 straight season openers where they have not scored an offensive touchdown.
Mm-hmm. You open with Russ, though, and I can't say that I'm putting all of the blame on Russell Wilson.
I don't think all of it's on.
Like, let's ride. It's not him. It's not Russell Wilson.
You're not darting over that way, huh?
Not necessarily. And a big part of that is
darting straight to the bench.
Receivers and tight ends, man, they were not helping him out in any way, dude. And they were 4th last year in drop passes. They did not address that over the offseason.
Neighbors was targeted 12 times, had just 5 catches.
That's crazy.
12 targets, 5 catches, and
hey, CD dropped 4 balls. That's you know what I mean. Like can't be pointing fingers
week 1
necessarily.
Yeah.
Week 1, but that was rough. His offense was not helping him. The receivers mainly. I liked what I saw from Scatterboo, honestly.
Ooh, physicality.
Yeah,
he's a mean dude.
Does he get the
2 attempts for negative 3 yards?
But his blocking, he was getting in there, man.
He did have 2 receptions for 12 yards. Though.
Yeah.
So it's two.
Not necessarily the rushing attempts.
Yeah,
but just
the overarching picture of Cam Scatterboo, whereas Jerry says Scatterbug. What was it?
He says Scatterbug.
It's like Scatterboo. Russell Wilson, 17 of 37 throwing, 168 yards, did not have a touchdown nor an interception. So you're going into week 2, you're not immediately looking at Jackson Dart. I saw Brian Broaddus, one of the friends of the show on Twitter, he was saying, I'd be ready for Dart in week 2. I was like, I don't know if they're going to make that switch.
That's a really quick switch.
That's abrupt.
Quick trigger.
For it to not fall completely on Russell Wilson either, I think that's a really bold move. But then again, this is Brian Daboll we're talking about. I don't know how he still has a head coaching job in New York. I really don't. I don't understand it. But
you liked him when he was hired, though. I remember having conversations.
I did. But everybody's not great head coaches. So
yeah.
It is what it is.
At this point.
Yeah, at this point.
And I'm not saying
years
he
into
wouldn't.
it.
I'm not saying he wouldn't be a bad head coach for another team, another situation, another roster.
Yeah.
But at this
Was
point,
it 4 years, right? Is this year 4 for him? Has to be
4 or
5.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
It's definitely
It's the time has.
It's passed.
You've been able to see.
The time is passed
for sure
for Brian Daboll.
I thought last year was it.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is year 4.
This is year 4.
Year 4. He was hired in 2022. Remember, he was the offensive coordinator with the Bills.
Yep.
Until 21.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe 18-33 is his head coaching record right now.
And I like their defensive line. We got to say that too.
Yeah.
Oh, D-line's nice.
I like Brian Burns.
That's one thing you know about them.
Well, and Daboll's supposed to be an offensive-minded head coach.
Yes.
And
but their D-line's nasty.
what's their number one problem?
But that's their identity. What we've talked about before.
Yeah.
The New York Giants defensive line has always been their identity.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Their D-line is nice.
Got Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
They got Sexy Dexy. They got Burns. They
Burns.
have Thibodeau. They have.
It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah,
this
they
week.
got some dudes.
Yeah.
Some dudes. They got like a wave. They have 2 waves that you have to worry about. So they're not no scrubs.
How did you feel like Washington looked in that matchup?
Rusty.
Yeah.
I think they look rusty, but I think that their running game.
Wait, was it week 1
surprisingly
for
good.
them too?
It was.
That's week 1 for them.
Their running game.
No
was,
week 0 here.
was good though. Their running game was nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I think the fact that they're doing planned runs now for Jaden Daniels, that was surprising to see. But, he has elusive speed. I'll say that.
They were averaged just under 7 yards per carry.
Yes.
It was 6.9 yards per carry.
They toted the rock. And they had a rookie who kind of balled out.
Krosky Merritt. Yeah. Undrafted free agent.
He got dropped in one of my fantasy leagues before week 1.
Drafted. He got dropped in. Did you pick him up?
I am planning to do so.
Did you?
Make sure
you get that waiver claim.
Come on now.
He was late in the 7th round. He was literally the 245th overall pick.
And he
out of Arizona. Good player.
To be the leading carrier for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. 10 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And a tutty, long 42.
Austin Eckler had like 6 carries for 26 yards.
To go back to the Giants really quickly, and I know we're going to talk about it ad nauseum this week, obviously getting ready for week 2 matchup.
Yes, home game.
Did you feel like their offense was, I mean, obviously it didn't get going, but like, doesn't part of you feel like if they get things going, they might be a really good team here? Not a really good team.
Yeah. I'm not threatened by their offense.
Okay. Not threatened at all.
Even with a guy like Neighbors.
Yeah, Neighbors.
Could be an elite wide receiver in the league.
I'm not threatened by their offense.
All right.
We'll talk about that later in the week.
We'll talk about
as we go on. This one, I don't know if people really want to talk about. The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, who are they?
Yeah, well, they're a good team, led by Jordan Love on offense, and they're led by some guy that wears number 1 on defense now.
He kind of had an impact on the game.
Micah Parsons played well.
Garbage time.
Played well. He did have a garbage time sack, but
he was a terrorist.
He was still there.
He's getting pressure for sure.
He was what you expect from him.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Back looked fine.
Listen.
That back looked great.
He played he made the impact that you expect him to make, whether he was on your team or somebody else's team. He was him. I wish him all the luck. I mean, all the luck, all the health. I know people are mad about it, but it is what it is.
I don't think people are mad at him though. Maybe some people.
Some people. There's always gonna be somebody
because of how it got handled.
Yeah,
and
there's always gonna be somebody. Scenario. But I wish him nothing but luck. He is truly one of the few guys in this league that you might be fearful of as an offensive coordinator. You just have to. He impacts everything.
The game changes when he's in.
He impacts absolutely everything, and he showed up yesterday like you expect him to show up any other week. So, good on them. They are a threat. They are my. We made projections on CBS. They're my favorites in the NFC just in general.
Wow.
Just because they're
across the board.
Because they don't have guys offensively that you like. All right, we need to shut down this one guy. If we can shut down this one guy, we're good. They're good across the board. Everybody makes contributions. And I think teams like that are very dangerous. And I think obviously with their defense the way that it was last year as a top 5 defense, and then number 2 in sacks last year. Now you add Micah to that. Like, they are truly an organization that wants a team to be solid. They don't want just one guy to be solid. They genuinely want.
They've built the foundation.
They want to be dangerous across the board, and I think teams that are like that, and I believe Dallas is trying to work towards that. I really get that sense that, and obviously the trade of Micah kind of backs that up. Like, they want to be good across the board.
But Green Bay was in a position to where they were already good across the board, so that way they can make a move like that and then go get a superstar to try and push them over the top.
Absolutely. I mean, but even still, like, even by adding Micah, you have a player that you have to now highlight when you're on film, but they still have a bunch of other guys that make huge contributions. So it's not like you guys like, we shut down that one guy and we're good. Like, no, you might be shut him down, but somebody else, because we're good across the board, somebody else is going to hurt you. And I think that's what Dallas is trying to get to. I truly do. I still think that Dallas needs to pick up one more piece. And Kyle knows that one piece that I want him to have. I've been talking about it for the last 2 months.
A piece or two?
He played at Clemson.
Yep. He's free.
He is a free agent.
You can say his name. I don't know, but let's keep it as a secret.
Go ahead and say it.
No, we don't want people be listening.
Say his nickname.
Other teams be listening.
What's his nickname?
Tickler. He's a precursor to that.
He's out there. Free agent.
Free agent.
He's out there. Well, okay. What really surprised me most about that game was Detroit's defense, and their secondary mainly.
Yeah.
Because Jordan Love had all day.
He had
all day to throw, and every receiver was wide open.
16 of 22 passing.
Every play. Yeah. Insane, dude. Not something that you'd expect out of the Lions defense. They were sort of a bend don't break situation, but they obviously generated a lot of pressure. They weren't necessarily getting it yesterday, even with a healthy Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah,
I was very surprised by them yesterday, and a part of that must be losing their top 2 coordinators, losing their offensive coordinator, losing their defensive coordinator. It was really surprising to see how poorly the Lions defense was yesterday.
Yeah, they're not necessarily beating those allegations of no coordinators, no problem, that sort of deal. I mean, they struggled, and it looked out of sorts quite a bit for Detroit in that matchup. I think they'll still figure it out. They're just as talented as any other team in the NFC. Something else to keep an eye on as they go on, because the Packers looked great. Lions did not, of course. That's going to be the flip of that. But I think both of those teams have a shot to go to an NFC title game. Like, they're both very talented in that same
You'd
division.
think that the Lions are going to put it together at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yesterday was a really tough showing in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay has all the momentum behind them. You got Micah making his debut. I mean, come on.
Did you see Mike McCarthy getting a standing ovation as he walked out of the tunnel there?
What?
Yes, there's a video. He walked out of the tunnel. I don't know if he was like a legend of the game, or they did like one of those things where, but he walked out and the entire Lambeau Field crowd gave him a standing ovation.
Awesome. This is AI. That sounds.
It was not. I don't think it was AI. If it was, then I got fooled, and I'll put my hand up and say, "Yep, sorry, that's on me.
Crazy.
It's all fake. Whatever." I saw the video, so I'm going to throw it out there. One more NFC game I want to touch on real quick. It was a sloppy one between San Francisco and Seattle.
What a heartbreak!
Dang it!
It was just a gross.
Dang it!
Sorry.
The defense, man. Seattle's defense, Seattle special teams, they were on one the entire game.
They could not run the ball, though.
Could not run the ball. Man.
Didn't really pass it much better.
DeMarcus Lawrence had a really good game.
Did he?
I thought he had a really good game. He helped block one of the field goals that they attempted. Come on, man.
Interesting.
It was good stuff.
I like it, D-Law.
Nice.
You just don't want to talk about it?
No.
No, you just want to move on. You're not a fan, though. You're a bipartial media party currently now.
What was with the offense, Isaiah? What happened there?
I honestly didn't watch the game.
Oh.
I was watching Red Zone.
Okay.
Oh.
But I don't like the result.
Well, if you were watching Red Zone, you didn't see Seattle's offense
San Francisco always wins in Seattle, and I don't understand it.
Yep.
They always win in Seattle.
Yeah, they figured it out. I mean, Brock Purdy threw it 35 times, and they only ended up with 17 points. Usually you would put those two things together and figure out and say, hey, maybe they didn't play very well. They didn't.
When a game's like that, it just takes a handful of plays, man.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Gave it to Christian McCaffrey 22 times. Yeah. 22 times.
But McCaffrey didn't have an excellent game.
No. 3.1
Seattle's
yards
defense
per
is
carry.
nice.
Seattle's
defense is nice.
They were holding it down the entire game.
They got some dudes. If they can figure out the offense, they're a dangerous team because their defense is nice.
What was Sam Darnold's statistics there?
26 of 35, 277, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
That's what it
was.
That's pretty much Brock Purdy.
That'll do it.
That's the Brock Purdy experience on that occasion. But, yeah, Tank looked good. Seattle's defense, pretty solid across the board. The NFC was kind of, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it was kind of boring outside of that. But you know what wasn't boring?
Oh, my goodness.
The AFC.
Woo!
Oh, my gosh. There were games in the AFC. When we come back here on Talking Cowboys, we'll flip sides. Where does Dallas stack up amongst all the teams that we got to watch in week 1, both on the AFC and NFC side? Isaiah's got a great ranking for the Cowboys. When we come back right after this.
AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed, like getting through self-checkout by yourself.
Warning, each item must be placed in the bagging area.
Not guaranteed.
Place item in the bagging area. Place item in the bagging area.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve. Or we make it right. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys with Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. Just taking a look around the league a little bit. We got a little extra Monday. Tomorrow on Talking Cowboys, you know what day it is?
Oh, my goodness.
You know what day it is?
Is it a Talkin' Tuesday?
It is a Talking Tuesday. We're going to take some phone calls tomorrow. It's been a little bit.
Hello?
First Talking Tuesday officially of the year. We were on last Tuesday, but it was our only show of the entire week.
That's right.
The holiday and the travel days. And so.
Do they have the phone number, Kyle?
888-855-2297.
888-TLK-CBYS.
If you still use a phone that uses letters like that.
Well, it's Talkin' Cowboys.
T9, baby.
If you didn't understand the
Go right back into it.
Let's play some Snake, Beamer. Get the Nokia, baby. Let's go.
Get those Motorola phones.
Let's go.
Get the Razor out.
Come on, bro.
I like it. All right. Flipping attention to the AFC. I partially wrote this segment because I wanted to talk about the game that happened last night.
Amazing.
There was a game last night?
There was a great game.
That was the game of the week.
Maybe game of the year.
Maybe game of the year.
I don't know I don't know how there's a game that tops that.
With that much talent, that big of a performance from some of the biggest names in the sport.
Insanity.
Lamar, Henry both go off.
40-25 with like 8 minutes left in the game?
Yeah, it was 34-19 with 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then Baltimore even scored again.
Yeah.
And got to 40.
Scored 16 points in 4 minutes.
And then turns around and here comes Josh Allen.
After the extra point, doink.
Yeah. Doink. And
that
not
played
to
a
mention,
part in it.
The Buffalo kicker was picked up off of the Arizona practice squad.
Yeah.
Matt Prater flies in like 72 hours before the game.
Red eye, baby.
Didn't even know the names of his teammates.
Not even a holder.
Not even close. He said, I've kicked her a couple times before. He's only played 3 games in Buffalo, but he was like, I'm comfortable. Comes through, drills it.
They almost blocked it.
It was an easy kick.
They almost blocked it.
Yeah, you got to. you got to sell out.
That was
one opportunity.
Insanity.
That's the game right there, man.
A doink ended up costing you the game plus a fumble.
Oh, that fumble was crazy.
That was big.
That was huge.
But he was
Derrick Henry of all players.
D. Henry was running through that whole defense.
All game.
Oh, my goodness. He had 100 in the first half.
Yeah.
And then
100 and change. In the first half. He's still a dog.
2 tuds?
I mean, he's still a dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember a week 1 game being that exciting. And I thought the Dallas-Philly game was extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
Take work out of it, take the fandom out of it. I thought Dallas and Philly, that was a fun game to watch. But, man, it had nothing on Baltimore and Buffalo.
That's a lot of talent on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think let's just –
the 2 top MVP.
Let's play a game here.
MVP winner, MVP runner-up.
Yeah, let's play a game here. What do you think is more likely? Either one of those teams making it to the Super Bowl or the field? The entire rest of the AFC. What do you think is more likely? One of those two?
I got Baltimore going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you think so?
One of those teams makes it to the Super Bowl.
I think they figure out what their issue is in late in the games. They have to figure that out. Harbaugh has to help them identify what that is. Like they're probably like this right now, just taking their finger and trying to point somewhere. It's like there has to be this. No, it's not that. It has to be. Eventually, they're gonna be like, that's it. And once they figure that out, you're not going to be able to stop them because Lamar Jackson, the plays that he was making were insane. The throws that he was making, even though he only had like 19 attempts, was insane. Derrick Henry, the inability to stop him is insane. Zach Orr called a terrible game last night. He'll figure it out.
Hey, chill out.
Call it what it is.
Chill out.
He gave up 41 points.
Go Mean
He
Green.
called a terrible game last night. He'll figure it out, right? Because he has the players. Right, so the defensive line, the talent is there. So I mean, when you got Humphreys and freaking Starks and everybody else in the back, Hamilton. I mean, those guys have so much talent. Jair Alexander is not going to suck. Saying multiple games, like he's going to figure it out. He got Tostito last night, but he'll watch that film. He is too much of a competitor to not figure it out. Right, so those guys just have so much talent and so much size.
Yeah.
That they can literally just command a game.
Well, you know what's the best part about Baltimore? And we talked about this in the preseason off air. When I was building the preseason boards for our broadcast and just looking through, when I put together the depth chart of the teams, normally I could get a pretty good indication of, okay, this team is built well, or this team is big, or this team is fast, or whatever it ends up being. The thing that stuck out to me with Baltimore, they have so much depth.
Yep.
It's not even funny.
Yep.
They go 3 deep at many crucial positions on their roster.
You were going into like their 4th and 5th linebackers, and you were like, that's a dude.
That guy's a dog.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. Dude.
I remember loving him out of school, and they took him in like the 6th round. And we have a running joke on the draft show every year where it's like, of course Baltimore takes that guy. But that's what happens whenever they take good football players and they know how to build a roster. Their scouting department's as good as anybody's in the league. So anytime
their size, like that was the one thing. Obviously, we called the game, and obviously we work for the Cowboys, but there was a substantial size difference when Dallas played Baltimore in the preseason.
I don't know if it's just the purple and black jerseys too.
No, those are some large humans.
Oh no,
didn't quite measure up.
The Harbaugh, but that's how the Harbaughs build their teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, you saw it with the Chargers too.
Same thing.
The Chargers the same exact way. Like they build their team from the inside out. Like get us the biggest cats that you can find, and we'll teach them how to play football. And if they're already good players, awesome. If they're not good players, we'll teach them how to be good.
Do they have a hairline trigger? Let's draft that.
Exactly.
Speaking of the Chargers get a big win down in Brazil.
That was a
27-21. That was a good game too.
Herbert was killing them, dude.
Yeah.
Herbert was methodically marching down the field in those moments where you haven't expected Herbert to do. Like he's great in the first through the third quarter, and then in the fourth, something always happens to the Chargers, it feels like. And in this moment when you're expecting like, oh, here we go, KC's going to do their thing and, win the game, right? Justin Herbert very calmly, coolly, collectively marching down the field.
Well, now he
with
has
ease.
Quentin Johnston?
Yeah, Quentin Johnston. He showed up.
Temple, Texas.
His first 3 years in it. I think it's been 3 years out in the league for him. He has not produced. Right. He's been dropsies. He's a big receiver that can get open.
My favorite meme of the entire weekend is it was a picture of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and he was looking at his hands like something crazy had happened when he just first got his like web powers in that first Spider-Man movie, and the caption was Quentin Johnston as he figures out how to catch in year 3. He finds his hands in year 3.
Obviously,
he was
based off that game, he figured it out. But
he was a first-round pick for a reason.
Yes,
People loved him out of TCU. He was a 30 visit here. There was a lot of conversation on whether or not he would fit in an offense with CeeDee Lamb. And now they're going to give him the opportunity to have the keys to the car. And
Lamb, McConkey, and Eric.
He did fine.
Keenan Allen. I mean, those guys 79, 74, 68. Like when you can be like that, and that's what I'm talking about, like the team aspect. You're seeing the kind of the theme here with some of these more successful teams that when you're strong across the board, it's really hard to defend.
Yeah,
and that's what I think teams are starting to try to get away from. I think that's what the Joneses are getting away from, obviously, with that Micah trade. It's like freaking dominant, amazing player, but like if we can be dominant across the board and dangerous across the board, like how much more dangerous are we as a unit, right? And so that's when you start talking about the Chargers, like if there's not one guy at the receiver position that we have to be super threatened by, but they all are fully capable, like dang it, I'd much rather have a one guy, and just to the point of like CD and George together. Like the reason why you need to get George the ball and get him amped up and just kind of feed his ego, I guess, in that sense, is because he needs that motivation. He needs to be engaged that way. So now you have multiple dangerous players out there. And then when they're focused on those guys, then you can get Ferg the ball,
You've seen what it looks like when George Pickens is not engaged.
Yeah.
You want to prevent that at all costs.
Yeah, for sure.
You really do. And the benefit of that is having two receivers that are
capable,
that are capable, that are open, and
Fergie had his chances too, and unfortunately, Dak underthrew for a big play. But like even the play where who took the shot? That was Fergie that took the shot across the middle, right? Got destroyed in the end zone, right?
Got to pull that in though.
No, not even a chance. Not even a chance.
Are you talking about the underthrow?
I'm talking about the underthrow where he got the hit to the helmet. Where the defense
not that one.
Yeah, different one.
But
the one in his hands.
But even that one, when you go back and watch it, it was cover 2, right? Really, but Tampa 2.
Yep.
If George Pickens spends the energy, right, because he knows he's not getting the ball now, it's cover 2, and they did that to him a lot. So that's something that they're going to have to fix. They just kept rolling coverage, and it reminded me of my time when I was here in Dallas and what they did when we started having issues between Romo and the tight ends and the receivers. They were doing that to T.O. They want to eliminate T.O., so they just roll coverage, right? They roll the corner down, play a safety over the top, take away a majority of his routes that he would run. That's what they did to George Pickens. They eliminated him out the game.
Yeah.
But
gave CD everything he wanted underneath.
True that. Yep. But like if you have a route that converts and you're supposed to run a go, and you have a tight end who's ISO'd in the middle of the field, that you're as a receiver, you have to do what you can to get a release and get up the sideline to be a threat to that safety. Because if you're not a threat to that near safety, that safety can go take your tight end's head off like he did.
Yeah. So I called the Rice-Houston game for ESPN on Saturday. As I was walking down the stairs in the stadium, I ran into one former Cowboys tight end that goes by the name of Jason Witten.
Oh, wow.
Said hi to Witten. Clarence Hill was there. We were just having a conversation after the game. And
Witten.
Because Witten's son plays for Rice. And
so does Patrick Creighton.
Yeah, Creighton's son's on that team too. Neither one of them played a whole lot, but they were there.
It's okay.
In talking to Witten, Chill was the one that asked the question. He was like, what did you think about the Cowboys? Like, what did you think about how they played on Sunday or on Thursday? And he was like, man, I thought they played well. I thought they played really good. We somehow got into the topic of conversation of the tight end position, and he brought up that play specifically. He's like, you got to reel it in, but it wasn't a whole lot of help either. He's like, it was a tight window. He's like, as a tight end, he's going to beat himself up is what he said. He's like, I think Ferg's going to beat himself up for not having that catch. But you got to have that catch.
He's not bringing that down.
Yeah,
he got his head taken off. And there was the play where there was another Tampa 2 play where Dak underthrew him. Should have been a touchdown. Dak severely underthrew the pass. I mean, so like it wasn't like I know people are like, well, where was Ferg at? Ferg had his opportunities, but the ball wasn't there or the landmarks were not there.
The one that sticks out to me is the underthrown one it was also Tampa 2.
Yep.
Bond covered him on that seam down
severely
the right hash mark. If that ball is lofted in the back of the end zone, that's 6.
Severely underthrown. Yeah, and there was a number of other plays that it would have been, but guys weren't on their landmarks. So again, there's just a number of things that just are all correctable.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all correctable, right? Nobody had a perfect.
Once you get that rust off.
Yeah. Again, the calibration.
just because I'm looking at Floyd in the chat and he's upset that we're not talking Cowboys.
I'm sorry,
24/7.
I'm sorry, Floyd.
We just did.
Yeah, we just did. But where would you rank top half of the league, bottom half of the league? I know they're 0-1, but in terms of performances through week 1. Cowboys. Where would you put them?
I don't know. I'm just going to come up with an arbitrary number at this point. 14th.
Yeah, so right in the middle.
Right there in the middle. They haven't proven anything yet. We got to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get these guys.
Can't even get there.
Yet, but I mean, they're going to be a good team, especially if they add this one piece.
You're trying to will it into existence, aren't you?
When it happens.
I feel it's going to happen, bro.
Yeah?
I feel it's going to happen.
If it happens, his name is Christian Wilkins. He's a free agent.
Oh, that guy.
On the roster.
Don't tell the rest of the team they're listening, Kyle.
And it's after week 1, so veteran contracts are not guaranteed the rest of the year. So,
where's the spoon?
Isaiah's trying to pull out the crystal ball. We'll see if he's right whenever they get into
Imagine that 4 or 5 man front.
You have to wait until Tuesday until that official there Wednesday.
Can you imagine that front?
That's just tomorrow. That's Talkin' Tuesday, buddy.
Yeah. Well, it won't happen on our show tomorrow. It'll happen after our show tomorrow.
That would change.
On Talkin' Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
on a wonderful Wednesday edition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hope it happens.
Don't make that sound when talking about it.
Facts.
For Josh Rodriguez, for Isaiah Stanback, for Chris, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talkin Cowboys. We will see you tomorrow.
Out of there.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?